Alright, so this is a disk cloning type of device, and it can be just done without anything hooked up, as long as the drive that you're going to clone to is, I guess, larger or the same size as the one you're copying from. And this one's pretty simple. I had where another drive wouldn't copy. It like got to like, mostly done, but wouldn't copy. But this one did. So anyway, this has an ability to be used on, like, I think maybe a Windows machine. I don't really think it'll work on Linux, but where you hook it up like this, but you control it on the back with a SATA 3 or whatever the hell cable that is. USB 3.0. Funky weird one. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and shut this off. This was just one I found at Goodwill. I think it might have been donated because I don't think it works on modern, faster drives. I think the limitation of this is, I guess it says SATA 6G. So you can use it as a docking station to read the contents of a drive. You can do a lot of things with it. I've got another one here that's just this one. And some of these, you see they might only be rated. See, like this one is actually just too old, 2008. And so people would donate them and stuff and throw them out because they wouldn't read the newer drives or whatever. So USB 2.0. But good enough for me for most stuff I'm doing. So we cloned the drive out of here because I think this thing kind of reads sort of funny, and I just want to have a backup copy because I don't have a Windows desktop anymore. And I'm going to do a couple things here though with this one. We'll put the backup drive back in here. This machine here has this convenient little handhold here, I guess you'd call it. So I'm trying to remember which direction I had this in here. So I wish this case was a little thicker because it's actually a nice case. I was at the thrift store the other day and there was some really nice cases. One was like made out of glass, but they were very square kind of shaped. Like it would be like this case, but like really more of a square shape, and also designed where the controls would be up on the top, and I didn't like that, and they wanted too much money for them. So I think we'll put this one, I don't know, I like having these a certain way where they're not going to touch anything. Put it right here. So this goofy thing only kind of fits in there a certain way. So go ahead and get it back in there. I'm not going to use this drive, but I want it mounted in there. I technically should mount it on the other side. I'll put this one over here. I'm just going to let it flap around in here because I'm not carrying this thing around and moving it, so it's not going to matter. So I just stuck it in here. So, let's see if it boots. Oh, I forgot to do something else too. But we'll just see if it boots. What I wanted to do was, I'm going to change the RAM in here. What do I have? What they call 1333 RAM. Instead of, this is 1600. So I want to swap it, so yeah, I don't want to be running. It does seem to be booting faster. Of course, we did run into a blue screen. It's like, oh yes, Windows knows that this is a copy of another hard drive. This is the biggest thing I always forget to do. Pull the internet. Let the thing install. Let it do its thing without the internet. And I swear to God, I think that's what happens. So it's probably a little too late now because it's already logged some file on here to say, hey, send this message to Microsoft. No, man, this comes back as different hardware. But hopefully that's not why it did that. But it's like, it's my computer, it's my software, we paid for it. You know, I should be able to do what I want with it. So it looks like it did work. Okay, so let's see how fast it goes from here. Alright, not great, but there's probably something going on. So we'll do a couple of reboots and leave the internet disconnected and see what it does. But it's actually, something's obviously going on. And I don't really personally think a solid state hard drive is going to solve these issues. I almost ordered one, and then I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna wait a while because I don't like the reviews that I was reading on the Amazon ones. If you look at a lot of the Amazon ones, like the 512s, 1 terabytes, they all have like 10% bad reviews, and they seem to be consistently the same thing: failure, 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 failure. And a lot of them don't fail right away. They fail like in the first year. And so I don't really care about having this computer to be super fast because I don't use it. It's just for programming radios, and if I need to do certain stuff that needs to be done with Windows. So it's cloned, it's up and running, it's slow. We need to restart it and see what it does and see how fast it reboots. Probably not real fast, but I also need to go and exchange the RAM with this other stuff. But I'm going to leave it like this for now because I think we could have some other problems. I don't want to add to the issues. I want to try it with this for a while first before I go making more changes to make things even more complicated. So it's still quite slow, and I'm sure I can probably go in here, Control Alt Delete, and we'll pull up the task manager, see what's running. Some guys were talking about some Windows debloater, but I don't understand. I had to look it up on Google. It's not something I'm familiar with. But you see right away the CPU is pretty taxed right now. At 88%, and the disk is at 100. So I'm wondering why the disk is being used so hardcore. Like, what does it need to access from the disk? I see some like really slow Microsoft OneDrive. Okay, end this task. Properties. Maybe if I could get rid of that, because the Microsoft stuff's really killing me on this. So I don't use the OneDrive, and I want it off of here. I don't know how to get rid of it. Security. Okay. Details. Let's see. I don't know a way to get rid of this thing. Okay, can I just deny all the properties? That's what I'm wondering. Alright, well, we got our startup here. So there's a lot of problems here. I don't know why Adobe is enabled. Definitely don't want that enabled. Disable. Disable. Oh man, Microsoft Edge. Disable. OneDrive. Disable. NVIDIA update. Disable. Phone link. I don't know what the hell that is. QuickTime. This, no wonder this stupid thing's running slow. Universal controller. It's PreSonus. It shouldn't even be on here. I don't even have a PreSonus. Windows security notification disabled. I don't know what this UCam thing is. Okay, so that should probably make a big difference. The disk is still sitting here being taxed though. Something's taxing this disk. So 87% of the disk, I mean, that's really going to bog the system down. Why is it doing so much accessing of the disk? And when I see the 0 megabytes per second, I don't see anything in here that has much of a number on here. Registry. Okay. Service host. System mains. That's what's really doing it right now. Okay. End task. Probably not. Let's not do that. Resource value. So let's see if there's some other ones in here before we do anything with that. Shell infrastructure. But yeah, that's seriously, because I don't know how fast this thing can write, but probably not real fast. So this thing's sitting here doing 1921 megabits per second. And why is it doing it? I have no idea. So it looks like it might finally be done doing its thing. I think the issue is there's just so much stuff happening on startup. Because you got like Microsoft Edge, you got Microsoft OneDrive, you get Apple and some other crap trying to run. So now the disk is much lower. If it stays that way, we should be good. So the startup on this is just really, really, really bad. Really bad. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let it sit for a bit, and then I'll restart it, and then after a while I'll try it with some other RAM. So anyway, I think the clone was successful, so there we go.